I'm making voter guides for every single state for the midterms this year, and today we're doing Kentucky. I know I said I was going to do Montana next, but I realized I missed Kentucky, so I rearranged my schedule a bit. And by the end of this month, I'll have all the states up with primaries through June 16th, so be on the lookout. For Kentucky, y'all do have closed primaries, so you have to be a registered Democrat or Republican to vote in your primary on May 19th, unfortunately. All right, let's get into your U.S. Senator, because Mitch McConnell's old ass is finally retiring. He's the reason we have a conservative majority in the federal judiciary now. Anywho, it's looking like your front runners are Charles Booker and Amy McGrath. Kentucky has only elected 2 black people to a statewide office. They were both Republican, and the first one didn't happen until 2015. And y'all have never had a woman U.S. Senator before. So y'all have the opportunity to make history this year. I'm really trying to be glass half full right now. They're going up against Andy Barr, who's endorsed by Trump. The only thing he's talking about is coal, which is a finite resource that isn't sustainable, veterans, which Democrats support too, law enforcement, because he thinks ICE killing citizens is okay, I guess, and being anti-DEI when at least half of Kentucky's population has benefited from it. Unfortunately, I don't think this will be enough to sway Kentucky conservatives. This is going to be an uphill battle. Regardless, I'm all in for Charles Booker. He's one of the most progressive candidates I've seen to date, and his grassroots campaign is really energizing the community. You don't have to question where he stands on anything because he has literally all of it laid out on his website. All right, for District 1, y'all's current rep is James Comer, and he's known for going hard as hell on Hunter Biden, but light as a feather on Jeffrey Epstein. So try and switch it up with Drew Williams. He's a blue-collar worker who has a very thorough healthcare and tax plan. In District 2, y'all got Brett Guthrie, and he's the chairman of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, which was responsible for the Medicaid policy and the big beautiful bill. About a third of Kentucky's population is on Medicaid, and that bill cut over $700 billion in Medicaid funding. And by 2034, up to 24% of Kentuckians could lose coverage as a result of this. Consider going in a new direction with Will Compton. He's a public school teacher and city commissioner, and he's a normal guy trying to make a difference. District 3, Morgan McGarvey is all you got and running unopposed, so keep him where he's at. So in District 4, y'all got Thomas Massie, who is one of the few Republicans who will actually stand up to Trump, which is why Trump is trying to unseat him. He voted against the big beautiful bill, teamed up with Ro Khanna to investigate the Epstein files. He's against the war with Iran. Now, he does vote with Republicans 90% of the time, but he seems principled at least. But you also need to try something new, think different, vote strange. Absolutely love that tagline, by the way. She's focusing on the economy, healthcare, and education, and she says she's committed to policies that create good paying jobs and supports pre-K for all. For District 5, y'all's rep is Hal Rogers, who is running for re-election, and he was born in 1937. If y'all don't get his old ass out of here. All right, lastly, in District 6, y'all got an open seat, and the Republican contender is Ralph Alvarado, who's endorsed by Trump, and this is all he got on his campaign website. Mind you, the majority of Republican candidates' websites look like this, and they focus on the big conservative five: Trump, trans, woke, guns, and the border. If you want somebody who's actually going to focus on things that affect your daily life in Kentucky, take a look at the top 3 Dem contenders. First, we have Zach Dimbo, who seems very uninspiring to me. Then we have Sherlyn Stevenson, who as of now has the best chance of winning this primary, but 45% are still undecided, so we will see. I really like Erin Petrie. She's the most progressive, but she seems like a fighter and performs the best in the candidate forums. This is a tough district, but I think Petrie is the most inspiring amongst all the candidates, and you're going to need somebody like that who actually can get new voters to turn out. All right, that is it for Kentucky, and now it's time for your homework. Be sure you're registered to vote and periodically check your registration in case of any funny business going on. Check your sample ballot and polling place so you know what you're voting on beforehand. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this with 3 friends online and offline so we can get as many people to the polls as possible. That is it, and next up is Iowa.